I was going through a leadership challenge in an organization where I was responsible. And I called my father, who was a sage, a great sounding board for the kind of wisdom that all leaders need. And he told me the story of Napoleon and his army. I'm not convinced that the story is true, but it made a really good point, so I want to share it with you. He said that Napoleon would be able to divide his army into thirds. There was 1/3 of his army that was so up for Napoleon and so up for the Republic that whenever they saw the enemy, usually the British, they would run and they would charge and they would fight without being told to. He couldn't hold them back. And then there was another third who were like the equal and opposite problem for him. They were people who really didn't like Napoleon, really didn't like the Republic, and they'd been conscripted, and the moment they saw the enemy, all they wanted to do was leave. They wanted to run away. They wanted to abscond and go home. And then he said there's a third in the middle. The third in the middle are waiting to see who's going to win the argument. Are we fighting or are we deserting? My father said that in every organization there are those three groups: the leavers, the learners, and the laggards, those who are waiting to see which way we're going to go. The problem comes that most leaders deploy almost all their leadership energy to convince the leavers not to leave, to listen to their problems, to listen to their complaints, to allow those problems to become bigger than the sum of their parts. And they deploy all that energy, and three things happen. The learners leave. They are not being invested in, and they decide to go somewhere where they're going to be invested in, where they're going to be listened to, and where they can jump and they can run and they can go after the enemy. The second thing that happens is that the laggards learn that if you complain and you moan and you cause trouble, you get the energy of the leader. And so they begin to create a culture of moaning and complaining and of negativity and of disproportionate problem in the organization. Third thing that happens is that the leavers leave anyway. You can't stop them. And so I decided that I would lead my leadership life from a posture of investing in those who want to learn. I'm going to give all my energy to those who are up for it, those who want to dream with me and run with me, and I'm going to deploy almost no energy into people who are patently against everything we are going to do. I'm going to let them complain and I'm going to let them leave. Because here's what I think happens. The learners learn and they pull the organization towards a possibility in a future. The laggards learn as well. They learn that if you want the energy of the leader and if you want the support of the leader, you start to believe, you start to dream, you start to run and you start to jump. And even some of those who say they're going to leave, they begin to be convinced by the laggards who are moving in the right direction. Leavers, laggards, learners. Where are you going to put your energy?